Ron?
Okay, good morning. This is the Allegheny County IDA. I'm Chairman Judy Hopkins, and I call the meeting to order. The first on our agenda this morning is going to be a presentation by Michael Zimmerman. Mike, if you want to move up to the table, that would be great, so everybody can hear you. We're going to be looking at grant proposals for a number of companies in the county. So maybe you can explain the program too.
Sure. Thank you. Good morning. So yeah, this is the New York State CDBG CARES program, funding for small business revitalization for businesses that were impacted negatively by COVID. I think I was here a few months ago when the program kicked off, and we had the first round of applications, and the board approved a little over $500,000 of grants to businesses, but we had $900,000 to spend. So a second call was put out for applications, and as you can see in kind of the cover memo I sent, we set a deadline of April 14th. We received 15 applications by that deadline. Our office did reviews of each of those applications, primarily for eligibility in the program, determined that 12 of the 15 were eligible for the program. We had a total of $333,822 remaining to allocate, and those 12 who were eligible, their total requests totaled $421,52. So, more demand than we have supply. So there's a number of different ways that certainly the board could consider making approvals. I presented an option that I thought was kind of the most equitable, wherein everybody who is eligible is awarded some funding. They're awarded at a lesser amount than they asked for, proportionate to how much funding you have remaining. So on the second page of the memo, there's a list of the applicants and what their award amounts would be if they were all equally reduced by kind of the amount that's remaining to get you to $333,822.
That was very helpful.
Thank you. There's certainly other ways you could do it. You could award some of the projects and not others, but then we have to really discuss, who's getting left out and why. You could probably do some other math to determine other ways to allocate the funding, but I thought this was kind of an equitable approach. So with that, you can see the 12 eligible businesses, the total of $333,822, and then a short blurb on the 3 that were determined to be not eligible in the program. I also included our review memos on each, and would certainly be happy to go through any of them, any questions on any of those specifically, whether now or.
All right, my first question, I guess, is, and I noticed that the end of 28 is down at the bottom. Their financial information was not complete. Were there any other, interest on the Cuba side, Belfast, that side of the county at all? And it was just the only one, the end of 28.
In this round, I don't remember in our first round how many we approved that were. There were some in.
There were some of the first ones.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Copper Kettle was one of them, but I can't remember who else.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But no, these 15 are all that we received.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing about the northern part of the county, that there are only 2 out of all of them who would be in that area. So glad to see that there are some from, other parts of the county as well.
One caveat I should mention is that one of the 12 on here, Vintage Finds Treasured Memories, they were approved in the first round. They had requested, they were eligible for really up to $25,000 based on their eligibility. They only requested I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it was about 13,000 or so. Because that was really all they felt. Because of the challenge of this program, where the businesses do have to incur all the expenses up front, carry those costs, and then submit for reimbursement before the state releases the funds and ultimately comes to the county and the IDA to reimburse the businesses. Even when that process goes quickly, there can still be a 30 to 60 day delay where they're expected to.
So it's a cash flow problem.
It's a cash flow problem, and he was concerned that he wanted to be very conservative on his ask to make sure that he didn't overstretch himself cash flow wise. After his first approval, he's already submitted for a draw of funds in his first approval. And he came back when he saw that there was additional funding available and said, I do need a little bit more. Would I be eligible to ask for more? I said, well, you are eligible to. It's not up to me, but you're eligible to. So he did put in a request for an additional about $6,000.
Okay, so I noticed that too, and I wondered, you said he was eligible for a certain amount more. Was that because he didn't use the full amount that he would have the first go around, or was that because he just was eligible again, or there was just more money from the first time?
So the way the program works, it's every business, it's $25,000 per job they're eligible to a maximum of 75 is the program rules. Or in this case, certain small businesses can qualify for up to $25,000 just based on the owner meeting certain qualifications. So he met that where he was eligible for 25,000 and could have requested as much as 25, but he only requested about 13. So he's certainly going to be utilizing that 13 and change that was awarded the first round. This would be on top of that, but still below the 25 that he could be eligible for.
I just shared with Craig, I just am aware of this business, and I know that they will be moving to a larger building
Yes.
soon. So that says good things about how they've been received in the community and how their business is going. So I'm glad to see that.
And they're also one of the micro enterprise grants.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I have a question about the steps, the Southern Tier Express Property Services.
Sure.
Can you just tell me a little bit more of what they actually do? I was trying to figure out from what their request was as to what they do, but I'm not familiar with them. So if you could just share that.
Sure. So I spoke to Gary, and he did give me a rundown on his business model a little bit. So they are contractors, but specifically hired by, depending on maybe it's banks who are foreclosing on properties, maybe it's landlords who, anytime a property is kind of transitioning ownership, it needs to be cleaned out, it needs to be remodeled, it needs to be boarded up and locked for safety purposes and things. That's where they get hired to do that work. So they work on a lot of foreclosed properties, a lot of property maintenance.
That's where the foreclosure comes in.
Yeah.
And they kept
Yeah.
on the application, it said for foreclosures, and I thought, are they doing the foreclosing? Are they, so.
Right. Yeah. They
Okay.
come in when it's been foreclosed and they clean the properties and make them safe. All that.
Doug and Randy, do you have some questions?
Rich, do you have any
And
questions?
Rich is on the phone, so.
Yeah, the first one that I have is on Angelica Spring. They would be, what I would think would be an essential business. I just wondered if the COVID affected them beyond being, would they be classified as an essential business and they could continue to operate during COVID and not be affected by it as much as some other businesses?
Yeah, I do think that they remained open through all of COVID. So I think that's right. But they did see a pretty significant, financial downturn during COVID, which met, what we had set out as kind of the program eligibility guidelines.
Okay. The other question
I did
had
not, this is Rich, I did not have any questions.
Thank you.
The other question I had was on Messler logging.
Yes.
But they have limited income. I just wondered, does this Scott Messler have another job besides his logging business?
I don't believe Scott does. His wife does. Full disclosure, I believe she's a county employee.
Okay, that's how they are
Yeah.
able to operate.
Yeah.
I believe they also rent trucks to pipeline construction companies for hauling mats. So I believe there is a Messler trucking company that's tied to the logging companies somehow.
Okay.
But that's an I believe,
Okay.
as a premise to all of that.
And then the only one that I had a question on was Portville, was the people from Sorville.
Sorville, yeah.
So is that Allegheny County? They are Allegheny
Yeah.
County. Okay. That's one.
Yeah, what you verify is their mailing address is out, right up in the border up there.
That's all I had.
Why don't you just ask about the Southern Tier Medical?
Yes.
I know they've been in business for a long time. I do think they're a very essential company or business in the county. I'm just looking for their papers right now, but I guess I would feel strongly that we need to give them money to stay in business, and I see they're looking for they would use the funds for oxygen machines, backup systems, wheelchair scooters, and things like that, which will benefit many other people as well. So I just, I see that they requested 29. I think in the altered one for the percentages, we had designated for them 19,865. So I see we have a couple of very large ones that are getting close to 60,000 in that. And I don't know, I guess I would, the one that's getting 59,588, I believe, is mainly for supplies that they were asking for, the Tuffy ceramics.
Yep.
They had asked for 94, so I mean, they're asking for a big chunk, and they're certainly qualified for that, but I just wanted to mention that.
I think that's a valid point from the stand, if I understand where you're going, and that is that the general percentage across is gonna hurt some of these smaller people a lot, hurt the smaller applications a lot more than it's gonna hurt the larger application, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you get places like the salon massage only asking for $19,000 and you cut that number, that's gonna have I really believe that would have a greater impact
Mhm.
than if you took Tuffy Ceramics and cut it by a greater number than what the percentage.
Well, I predicted this discussion, and
Yeah.
I did not make copies, but I'm happy to pass it around. But I did, do the math at home on another scenario where everyone who, all the smaller requests are funded in full, and we just then reduce all of the large requests equally to still meet our total number. So really,
This is another proposition.
This is would be another proposition.
Okay, go ahead.
where everybody who is 25,000 or less is funded at their requested amount, and that would just mean I think it's 4 businesses, Tuffy, Steps, Sorvillo, and the Old Mill Inn, who were larger than the $25,000 requests, all get reduced to $40,920, basically. So all of the small requests are funded in full, And then those 4 larger ones take a bigger haircut. But like you said, it's not, that way we're not kind of maybe disproportionately impacting some of those very small businesses. Right?
Yeah, and I think the point that I was gonna make was, even though they've been cut by 40,000, they're still getting close to 60,000. So I think that's something for us to think about and consider.
Sure.
Does Rich have any opinions on that?
I like the idea of funding the smaller ones. I think that's a really good idea. Just for, I guess, the reason I think I heard Randy, it's a little hard for me to hear, but I think Randy said it was, maybe a little more meaningful for the smaller ones to be funded in full. So I go along with that.
I'm in favor of that as well.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Maybe I'll
Okay.
check my math.
Good anticipation.
you'll send us that.
I will send a revised.
So,
with the-
so
yeah.
basically what he's saying is all the smaller ones that get completely funded and the larger ones are 50 and above would be cut at a larger percentage.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Which makes sense to me too. I think that's fine. Time-wise, we do have to make some decisions today because, as we said, it's a 1-year contract with the state, but we only have 6 months to get all this documented, so.
We can do that, I think. I think we're in
Agreement.
pretty much agreement here.
And we can send out the actual spreadsheet to verify the numbers.
So do we need a motion to do that blanket change in it, or?
Yes,
how
I
do you
would think
proceed?
so, yes.
Okay, that's. what
We want to approve those, how many companies were there?
It was 12 in total.
12 total, and for that, and the revision as per presented with the smaller ones getting everything they ask and the larger ones being reduced. at
Proportionally
30%.
reduced, yeah.
Okay. What do you?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Okay.
Doug is making it also. Doug will take your motion and Randy second. I'm sorry.
Rich will second.
I'm looking-
She looked at
the
Randy,
people
sorry.
around here. Craig has his phone right up by his face, so I'm thinking, well, I know it's not Craig. Thank you, Rich.
Should we vote on that then?
Yes, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Good. Aye. Any other things about the loans that we need to consider today, Mike? Or no?
No, just as a way of update, the applicants in the first round, we've already submitted 2 draws to the state for funding, so all of those are moving forward. I think, as Craig, we mentioned before the meeting started, maybe that now that we've awarded 12 more and all of the funding is officially committed, we will go to the state and ask for a short, but an extension on the program, because it technically ends, I think, in July. And to get these businesses completed, we'll want maybe just 3 more months. But
It won't be very long, but
Yeah.
it's a small extension. And I think the state will be very happy because I'm not sure they thought we could get all the applications.
they'll be very happy to hear it's all the money's committed, yeah.
Good.
The only other thing is, as Mike had mentioned, we put in 2 draws. We've got the first draw of the $150,000. And so Doug has those 3 checks because as soon as those monies hit the IDA account, we have to give the applicants their funds because we have a 5-day window. So we did that before with the micro enterprise, the same thing. And it's not our cash flow. We don't write the checks until the money hits our account. So, and it's in there as of yesterday. So, since you're here, do you want to mention anything about the micro enterprise grant? It's just accept that we're accepting applications, and I have one on my desk. I'll give you 2.
Do you?
before
Okay,
leave.
yes, please. Yeah, that was announced in early April, maybe, and the applications are due June 30th. I think all the applications in that program, if you're familiar with, they have to go through the training course with Incubator Works or I think between those 2, there's a pipeline of businesses.
And they've already been sending me and Mike a lot of emails.
Yeah. So I don't think we'll have any problem getting.
Yeah, that one's going to be more trouble because we're going to have to figure out how we prioritize.
Yeah.
Because last time we had just about enough. This time we'll probably have twice the number of applications we can fund. which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, yeah.
Well, Mike, we thank you very much for the work that you've done
Yeah,
on this.
absolutely.
You've done a lot of the work for us and guided the applicants through the process and all of that. So we appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
Here, thank you.
I just gotta step out for a minute, because I gotta get that application to Mike, if you.
Okay? Sure. Have a good day, Mike.
Yeah, Rich, I stood you up. He laid the phone down. I stood you up so that Judy can see you.
Well, he's just, let's see, there's a speaker thing, there's a video camera. You're looking good, Rich. I hope you're having a good time down there. Can you hear?
Yeah, I've been talking to you, but I've been on mute. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah, okay, now, on, I don't know, on Craig's phone, my speaker is in the bottom like
Yeah,
that.
that's
So
why I just
we
laid
need
it
to-
down. I
yeah.
think, yeah.
Can we lay it on that?
I can hear a lot better right now than I was
Okay,
able
we
to hear
just-
before.
We just moved you to the center of the table, kind of,
Yeah, thank you.
sort of. Yeah, it's hard to be on the
Thank
phone.
you.
I guess, are we still on camera?
I believe so.
Okay, okay, well, we're taking a short break, Craig had to leave, but, I think we could actually go ahead and approve the minutes, if we could go back to that. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
Randy moves that, second,
I was in here.
okay, Doug was not there, so Rich, would you like to, second that?
Yes.
Okay, it's moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the last meeting. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, that is.
So the second set, we're okay, sorry about the first set.
Okay, next on the agenda is to look at the treasurer's reports and approve those. So I'll give you a second, see if there are any questions on that, but we could take the motion to approve and then take the questions. So we have a motion to
I'll
approve.
make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Second by Doug.
We look at this, the balance sheet.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We need to
Craig,
look at
Have we, switched monies over at First Citizens?
We have not yet, no.
Okay,
I'll do that next time I talk to Pam.
okay. All right, that's my question.
Yeah, because I noticed that too, we still have more than 250 in that one account, we'll get that taken care of.
Or 300, whatever it is.
Yeah, but I'm saying more than the 250, which is
Yeah.
the minimum, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Okay, so the one that we'll be voting on is the balance sheet, the abstract report. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. And next we'll need to look at the banking and financial summary. And we'll be looking for a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Rich.
Thank you, Rich. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, any questions about it? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is passed.
Since, I don't know what, just so you know, I just found it on, when I was looking through Pam's desk, we did not have a statement from Rinker Oil from last month. And I don't know where it went to, it may have gone to her old email, but I just got it on here and it's really, it says it's overdue, so I'd like to pay that. That was not in any information until this morning, so it's $2,980.66. We don't usually do individual approvals, but I'd like to have the approval to write that one check.
Okay, we'll take a motion on that then. Can you make that? Doug? Okay. And
Second.
approved by Randy. Any questions on it to Craig?
I don't know where the original, I didn't see the last month's bill, but we've got a new one just came in this morning and I'd like to pay him. So
Sure.
I don't want to wait for another month.
Sure. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
Hey Judy, this
Yes.
is Rich. I had one more issue, maybe it could go into the, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to mention it, but based on the balances that we have in our accounts, we only have a $100,000 employee dishonesty limit on our insurance. And so I asked my underwriter for an option to move that to $500,000. And the additional annual premium is $130 a year. So I just wanted to bring that up. We don't need to move on it today. If we don't want to, we can if you want. But I just wanted to provide that option, just based on the discussions we had about moving money around and so on. And I think we, just had more of an exposure than we've ever had. So, because we have actually had some money.
Yes, we're dealing with some different fundings than we've had before. Any comments from the board or anybody that would like to make a motion and we can do it today?
I move that we do that.
Thank you,
Make
Randy.
the increase.
Thank you.
For Rich's.
Doug will
Okay, and
second.
Doug will second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And I'll have to abstain probably, so I abstain.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make sure we get that taken care of. It should be effective today. I'll ask they make it effective today.
Okay, we do have a quorum and a passing vote, so we can go ahead with that.
And thanks, Rich, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to the regular agenda. Do we have a building maintenance report, Craig?
No, everything, since we got those 2 pumps working, everything's been fine, so.
Okay.
We will be getting to you some estimates. I've asked to get some estimates on replacing some of the fixtures and the panels in the men's room for sure. They're just past their longevity, let's put it that way. Just so you know, by next board meeting, hopefully I'll get those out.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is an executive session. I don't think we have the need for one, according to Craig. Anybody else have something that they feel the need to discuss in executive